Okay, well, welcome to tonight's team call for Team Benefit. It is Tuesday, August the 4th, and I know I'm excited every week, but I've been playing detective this week, so I'm very excited to go over a few things and wanted to actually, let me see where this is. I want to refer to somewhat of our agenda, and we've been putting a lot of recognition on the team page, which I think is amazing, and I would personally, I'd rather have it there than, just on the team calls. But we have some new coaches doing amazing things, and we've got some seasoned coaches doing amazing things, and of course it's very early in the month, but any of you that are getting new challengers, and of course new coaches are going to be recognized on the team page, but give some little shout outs on the team page, and let's get some little rivalry going amongst cup teams and just have a really good time this August. So monthly happenings, we've got I didn't put a regular calendar together as such because I felt like there were different cup teams doing some different things, and I didn't want to make it confusing. But I know for myself and the other members of my cup team, and anybody is welcome to add to the groups that we're hosting. But on the 10th, that will be the welcome week for a size round 2 test group. Anybody going into that will simply be added to the current size group. So it's going to end up, there will be one big size group. I can foresee size being something that people just want to keep doing, and then they're going to get the additional fat burning DVDs and keep doing those. And it would be really nice if by then they would have another, couple workouts out. But anyway, that size group, I'm just going to keep going until it ends because the people are really, really excited, and we're just having a lot of fun doing it. And then also on the 10th, we're going to have a welcome group for a general, most of the time it's 21-day fix, but a general challenge group. So any miscellaneous workouts or whatever, people can go in that other one that is going to start on the 10th. So it'll say August 10th challenge group. Then on the 24th, the members of the little Dream Builder Cup team are all going to be participating as participants. We're going to start the 3-day refresh. So that is going to be happening on the 24th. That's going to be officially another welcome week for that later August challenge group as well. So if people want to order the 3-day refresh challenge pack and start that on the 24th with us, then that would be a great opportunity. And then I'm also going to do a free group again on the 31st because the first Monday in September is Labor Day, I think, maybe. But so anyway, just because of the way the month fell, I'm going to do another free group on 31st of August. So people can be inviting to that. And then we are the open house being on the team page this month, I think rocked. We had great participation, which is very uncommon because it's like we're a small enough group having people in that open house that it's just practically painful having just a couple of people in there. So it was just great having it on the team page, and I'm so glad that we did that, and being able to open that up and let people scroll down and see just how we interact and what our team culture is like, I think was really valuable for them too. So we're going to totally continue that, and it'll be set up the same format as this time, where we've got several business opportunity presentations sprinkled in there and 3 3 days of open house time. And each time, of course, we can perfect the post and make sure that people's questions get answered. But I kind of like the way that it was this time, because it wasn't so much that then they didn't have questions. You know, it's really good to leave a little bit out there for them to be able to ask questions and engage and be participants versus just readers. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And if you didn't participate this last time, that now you saw what it was like and you know what the open house story storm feel is all about, and that you would be more likely to invite your prospects to join us this next time. So what we will do is that will be also the last week of this month, and that Thursday is the 27th. So the open house will run the 27th, 28th, and 29th of this month. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then when it gets closer, I'll post the actual times and days of the live business opportunity presentations that we'll hold and do those again. So let's see. Oh, the other major thing that we usually have on the monthly calendar is Coach Basics, and I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail. So hold on to that. Actually, well, that's the next thing. So Coach Onboarding Flow. We are in the process of setting up also a self-paced Coach Basics. It's going to be the exact same posts that those of you who've gone through the group, it's going to be those posts. So the content isn't necessarily going to change, but how it's dispensed and how the new coach flows through it will be better for us as coaches, and it'll be better for them as newbies. What I find is that a lot of new coaches want to do things in batches and blocks and chunks of time, which I think there's nothing wrong with that. And usually my schedule works that way also. When it comes to training type stuff, it's a lot easier to sit down and knock out a bunch of it all at once. And so what I'm finding is that when we had it set up on a day-to-day basis with a little each day, people either felt behind or they felt frustrated that they couldn't move forward. So what it'll be like is on our pinned post, which is another reason, Dina, that I took the pinned post down that we had there. The pinned post will now always have instructions for your new coach. So your brand new coach, you're going to need to let them know how to find the pinned post, because I don't know why they make it that way. But you have to click on it to be able to see and open up the pinned post. So that's where we're going to be sending our new coaches. It's going to tell them the instructions of how to take themselves through Coach Basics. Now, here's another beautiful part that I'm so thrilled about. All of the individual daily posts for your new coaches is going to be on the team page. When we load them on, we're going to actually hide them so that it's not like, oh, you open up the team page and, oh, here's a month's worth of posts that I have to scroll down through to see what's current, you know. So don't worry about seeing a bunch of that up at the top at any point. You can add stuff and then actually hide it, and then it's there, but yeah. So don't worry about that part. But what is going to happen is when they go specifically to that post and they comment on it, it's going to bump that post back up to the top of our news feed in our team page. So they're going to tag their coach. They're going to let their coach know that they completed that day, what questions that they have on that day. And the other great thing is that for those of us who are seasoned coaches and we get used to things, or we think we've got it all down, it's going to be bringing these basic concepts to the forefront of our minds all the time. And so I'm excited to be able to revisit those myself and to be able to go back and see, oh yeah, that was a really good script that so-and-so used. Oh yeah, there's that idea that I totally forgot about. And I'm telling you, this stuff happens. We just get into our own ways and we forget some of the basics. And I was totally that person that forgot the basics today. When I was talking with Keyshawn Graves about Success Club and helping team members hit Success Club, she said, have they been giving you their business activity trackers? And I said, no, but why didn't I think of that? Like, how basic is asking for a business activity tracker? We all know that we need to be completing the business activity tracker. It's taught. But are we sharing that? No. Is it going to help? Yes, because I'm doing everything as a leader that based on, like according to her and according to other coaches that I should be doing in terms of leading and teaching. But what I haven't done is ask those people who are struggling to give that back to me, because that's really the only way that I can see where weak spots are and where strengths are on a weekly basis. And if I don't know how much you're inviting, if I don't know that you only had one yes in 1,000 invites, then that's kind of hard for me to make deductions. And, success leaves clues. And when we track numbers, our numbers improve. So a number that is not tracked will not grow. So we have to be tracking our numbers. And so for sure, I'm glad to post mine on the team page as well. Probably what would be the easiest thing to do so that we don't have a bazillion different posts on it is to have, I can post mine on a certain day and then everybody just post a picture of theirs in the comments below, and that, or whoever posts it first. It doesn't have to be me, but whoever finds that they finished theirs first that week, just go ahead and post it. And then everybody else post in the comments, and it'll all be clumped together in one spot. And we can totally learn from each other. And if we see that somebody had great success in one area, then we should pop up and say, hey, what the heck did you do that week? Because that was really, really great. Or, did you boost a post that week or whatever? And we can really learn a lot from each other by doing this. I had been doing my business activity tracker like a rock star for a good number of months. And then once I started doing the Power of 3, somehow fell off of the business activity tracker. And I think I had it in my head that if I was doing 3, 3, and 3, couldn't I just add it up and it would be 21 at the end of the week? But we all know it doesn't work out that way. And it's not the, ideal oasis of a world. And so it still is going to be extremely valuable to track that on a separate sheet. And there is something you can do it electronically, but I love being able to jot it down on a piece of paper. And a lot of times what I would do and what I would recommend that you do is just go ahead and print out a bunch of them all at once. And that way you've got them ready to keep rolling through the week. The other thing that I did when I was using my paper business activity tracker is that I would keep my 10 in playlist on the back of it. So your 10 in playlist are the people who you definitely need to follow up with. You know that they've expressed interest in the past. You know that these are people that if you keep grooming, they're going to join your challenge group. Those are the ones in play. Those are the people at the forefront of your mind that you don't want to forget. And so that's, whether it's 10 or 15 or 20, I would keep track of those names and just miscellaneous little important notes on the back of that business activity tracker. And then also that was a great place week after week to be able to go back to the backs of those business activity trackers and look back at those names and then follow up with those people who had expressed interest. So there's a few different little tools like that you can really make it work for you. I want to screen share real quick and show you guys exactly where to find it in your Coach Online office. I'm just getting to the right page on mine before I screen share it. Okay, so pull up my Coach Online office, screen share. I'm noticing that Zoom looks different tonight, so they must have updated or something. Okay, so can you guys see my Coach Online office there? Somebody shake your head. Yes, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make it big. All right, so we're going to go to news and training, and then I'm winging this because it's been a little while since I've been in here. And then training. It should be under coach. And let's see. Learn how. Yep, it's under learn how, the little graduation cap. You're going to scroll down to how to earn. And I'm not exactly sure why the business activity tracker is under that, but it is. So you'll click on this business activity tracker PDF. If you want to complete it online and save them, whatever floats your boat, go ahead and do that. But this really should provide, I mean, this is your daily to-do list. This tells you everything from your workout and drinking your Shakeology. You get to check that off and have a success, a quick win every single morning that's going to start your day off right. And then your personal development. And of course, staying connected and posting 3 times a day. So this is, and they've updated it to include your follow-up list. Of course, I still think, you know, utilize that back of the page as much as you can. But then at the end, you're going to fill out your weekly totals. And one thing that I don't see, because they've changed it, is your weekly goal. I'm not sure why they would take that off. But personally, like if you are
the first column, Tracy, isn't it there in front of Thursday goal?
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, it used to be somewhere else, so I apologize. Thank you for drawing my attention to that. Okay, so yeah, they used to have a line up at the top, but I've been in this a while, so it's been changed a few times. So yeah, your goal will go here in this first column. Beautiful. And how would you guys take that? Would you take that as a weekly goal? That's what I would do. I would put my weekly goal there. What do you guys think? Because I want to make sure, that we're on the same page. Oh, dang it. Where did I put it? There we go. Because then when I'm looking at them, we'll all be doing the same thing on our team page. Weekly? Yeah. Okay, we're going to do it for a weekly goal here. So let's do that. That way we'll know that ideally, this column should match the end. I can't move these things around. Sorry, I'm struggling with my screen here. So your totals should match your goal. That would be the goal, is to match the goal with the totals. So there's that. That's the business activity tracker. Make it your very best friend. Carry it with you everywhere you go. And then another thing that you may find to be helpful in terms of keeping up with it throughout your week is some people do well if they make just tiny little hash marks instead of making a big number as you go throughout the whole week. And that way, you know, at the end of your day, if you've done one here and done one there, then you can add up your little hash tally marks and make it right in your big number. So that will be good to go. There are other business activity trackers out there. We've shared some of them on our team in the past. If you want to use something else that works different and better for you, that's great and fine. Do try and include this important information on there because that's what I will be able to look at and look for ways to help you be more successful. So I'm going to stop sharing there. Okay, so basically, coach onboarding flow. We have set up in our files currently on the team page. Oh, I quit sharing and I need to share again. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm back on our team page. If you go under files, there is, I believe it's all in capital letters. Let's find it. Google Docs onboarding process. Okay, so when you click on this, it tells you for your brand new coach, here's step number 1. It's really, really simple. So all you're going to do as their coach is I would even show them where this document is. There's no reason not to just show them this whole document. And if that means, like just tell them how to get here. But what I typically do for a new coach is I will copy this and then paste it into a message, and I say, as soon as you're finished going through step number 1, shoot me a message and I'll send you step number 2. And that way it helps me know how far into things that they are. Step number 1 is a new coach letter and about a 3-minute video from me. Step number 2 is a follow-up letter and a video from me. And it has a couple little things to do, like an about me form and setting up their getting started right call. So that's why it says get hold GSR, which is getting started right call at this point. And then step number 3, same thing. I need to double check and make sure that I update this little file on the team page, but these things are accurate, and you can be using this for every coach that comes on board. I've already put together videos. I would encourage you, as you build a team, and maybe you've got 4 coaches, maybe you've got 5, and you're moving up toward Diamond, the videos that I use in steps 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing, go ahead and start doing your own. That's going to develop leadership in you. It's going to develop that confidence that you're leading this team, and that it's not, those people joined your coach's team, they joined your team, they didn't necessarily join my team. So of course, these resources are here for you. There's no need to recreate the wheel. But in terms of the 3-minute videos, that's something that as you get closer to Diamond, I would really encourage you to just redo those. And if you want to change things up a little bit, put your own spin on it, put your own flavor, be your own leader, and that's totally fine. Don't ever feel weird about doing that and moving in a slightly different direction. The main thing of importance is that the process be something that your coaches and their coaches and their coaches can duplicate with ease. So that's the goal here, and so that's why we've got it all housed. It's on Google, but it's also here on Facebook, and the videos are done, and they're generic. It doesn't say, thank you for joining Traci's team. I made them specifically so that you guys can use them and feel comfortable and confident that it's going to be accurate, and that your new coaches are going to feel welcomed in as a new coach on Team Benefit.
We'll put it on the table.
Questions about this? The rest of these, here's the other tracker. Remember I was talking about a different tracker. This is another option. If you enjoy using this daily activity tracker, feel free. But there's training. I've bunched all of the best training that I have on customer service, on running fit clubs, on follow-ups, how to run a challenge group, how to run a free group, inviting, live events. Like all of these things are on here. Time management and power hours, Success Club. I am going to update that Success Club one because we're going to go over that here right now. One last thing about the coach onboarding, and this has to do a lot with the new coach calls. On Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night, we on Team Benefit have a call at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are a seasoned coach and you want to hop on, then hop on the call. It doesn't have to be just brand new coaches, but that's a time when I always plan on screen sharing and making sure that questions get answered. What I would like to do to make it more, again, we want to make a system that's duplicatable and that is easy and that it flows week in and week out and week in and week out. There are 4 things that I've come up with that I believe are crucial to a new coach's success as well as a seasoned coach's success. Number 1 is your story. You have to know what your story is because your story is your brand, and if you don't have your story and you're not sharing your story, you're not going to get very far. Number 2 is posting about you and posting your brand and how often to post and posting consistently. So that's number 2. Number 3 is systems and flow. So we talked tonight about the coach onboarding system. On a new coach call, what we would be talking about are Asana and moving from adding contacts to messaging contacts to inviting contacts. That's the system, that's the flow. And then closing and enrolling new people. That's a flow and a system that I don't think we're teaching well enough currently. So that's number 3 would be systems and flow. And number 4 is handling objections, which we all know that we still are working on the cost objection on our team. And so those 4 things I think are like pillars to a coach's success, knowing how to move through and be really confident in those 4 areas. So what we're going to do is we are going to basically rotate through each of those 4 things every Wednesday night of the month. So of course, like if there's 5 Wednesdays, then we may just have a miscellaneous question and answer on that 5th Wednesday. But week 1, it'll be this, week 2, it'll be this, week 3, it'll be this, week 4, it'll be this. And that way, if you have an area, even as a seasoned coach, that you want to improve, you can hop on to that week and get training and have your questions answered. And it's going to be on screen share. So it'll be in depth and making sure that we don't get off of that call until everybody is confident in what they're doing. Does that make sense? Does that sound doable and everything? Okay, and then as we move forward, as there are people who are confident in those areas, then I'm going to be looking for people to step up and say, I will facilitate this week's call, and I will facilitate this week's call because I get to do it every week. And it's time to grow more leaders because you guys do these things amazing too. And I already can think of several posting rock stars and several objection rock stars and that kind of thing. So you are hiding out there and it is time to step into the light. So that is awesome that we have such great people on our team. And that wraps it up for Coach Onboarding. Last but not least, and I will be able to move through these things quickly, so don't freak out. Success Club, Success Club, Success Club, and Success Club. Can you guys still see the screen share? Does it still show up? Yeah, okay. Okay, so what I did was I compiled here on this dandy little document all of the things that we went through. If you happened to be in the what I would call a little push group, a push thread on Facebook over the last several days of July, we did throw out some different ideas and do some different things in that group that were fun and that were helpful. So I wanted to try and throw as many things in here as possible. And we can keep this, as a running, working list. I just thought of one other thing. Okay, so this will be great. Like if you're starting to feel like, why am I not adding enough points? Why am I not hitting Success Club? Do these things, put these things into practice, or reach up to your upline and ask about these things, and we can help. So tip number 1, post your business activity tracker. Let's put weekly. Number 2, ask for referrals. Number 3, suggest that people split a challenge pack between them. This is something that I've done, and there are a lot of people who promote couples challenge groups, and especially with the 21-day fix, I think that's a great one to split, actually, because it's only 21 days. And then if they split a bag of Shakeology, they're going to have Shakeology for the first 2 out of the 3 weeks of it. Ideally, obviously, they're each going to order a challenge pack and have enough, but that's not going to work for every single person. So I have done this before. I've even done, like a mom and a daughter if they live in the same house, or even neighbors and whatever. If you're not dealing with containers, then a lot of people will even split the discs, or they may have one person use the disc and the other person hop onto on demand and use it that way. So there's a lot of decent options for people that want to split a challenge pack and cut down on cost. Number 4, offer an incentive. I think we're all fairly familiar with that, but if you have questions and want to talk more about that, we can post on the team page. This one, the 1 hour fun group, stressing the importance of enrolling that hour. We did have some people on these, and I think it went pretty darn well. There were, and I think a lot of times what happens in these type groups is that they end up enrolling, usually not within that hour, because typically the incentive is not that much just to push them over. There's a small percentage of a personality type that will do anything for that incentive. Most people still want to do it on their own time frame. But when you do something like this and you invite them and they get excited, then they're much more likely to do it either later that night or the following day or even the next day. So I foresee that we will continue to do these. Possibly not the very last day of the month, but leading up to that. This last month, it was a brand new idea, and we were just trying to cram everything in at the end of the month. So we can plan a little bit better next time. But I think we had great content. I think that it flowed well and that people enjoyed it. That's the feedback that I got. If any of you have other suggestions on how we can make it better, or if you want to lead one, by all means, feel free to lead one. There's a lot of people that are more fun than me. So that would be great. But there's some verbiage here that you can use, and I'll post this. And then, so verbiage to post about it, and then verbiage to invite somebody and that kind of thing. I also created an event for it, and here is the verbiage that I posted in my event, so you've got that. I had put together this banner for the event, so if you want to use that, you can. If you want to switch it out so there's not 2 pictures of me, you can. Then moving on, this is one of the graphics that we use in our Coach Basics training, but this is tips for closing the sale and set the follow-up. Follow-up. I'm trying to think of a way to really explain this, because for the longest time, I would hear people say focus, and it's sort of like I just didn't understand what that meant. And finally, I don't know if I drank some different Gatorade that day or what happened, but I just got it. And you sort of just become like a rabid dog. And you can't think about anything else other than those people that you are going to be enrolling and helping that day. Like nothing else matters. You are just laser beam focused and honed in on that one thing. And when that happens, big things happen in your business. It's not always the most fun place to be as a coach, but big things happen, and those of us that are in leadership have all been there, and we do that a lot of Wednesday nights because that's the last night of the business week. I would encourage you more than anything to start treating every single Wednesday like it's the last day of the month. Every single Wednesday. You need to have had an improvement on your business from the week before. There should be rank advancements every single week, and you set goals for the end of every single Wednesday. And when you do that, when you make that mental switch, your business is going to explode. It's going to. I've seen it time after time after time. When people start setting that Wednesday as their deadline, and it happens every week, then big things are going to happen. Cost objections. Here are several different cost objections that you can include. And I think the most important one, this one is actually responding with questions instead of kind of like a debate. This is asking more questions, and that's always valuable. Some follow-up verbiage. Another idea for hitting Success Club, if you normally reach out to 25, then reach out to 50. Whatever your number is, up your game and double it. So that one was straight from Keyshawn. And so I had to include it, of course. Number 8, we've been talking about on the team page, and we can still work through that. And I'm excited to do it, is to run somewhat of I wouldn't call it a finance group because that sounds really boring, but basically the point there is for people that say that they don't have the money, we're going to teach them how to come up with the money. And that most likely, there are people that run 1 week groups like that. I think honestly, to have the most success and to actually make a lasting change for somebody, it really needs to be closer to a month. That's my gut feeling. But we can still talk through that and do that. Number 9, share your before and after pictures, not just on your wall, but in your follow-up message. And what I was finding is that I really wasn't sharing my own story with people well enough. And you get into the habit after being a coach for a while, you put it out there and you assume that everybody's seen it and everybody's heard it and they don't want to see it again. But it's so not true, because Facebook only shows your post to a tiny little percentage of people. And so it's very important to be showing those. And then the way that I include that in a follow-up message is just to say, well, this last month what I did was I offered I called it a 3-day shred, which is the exact same thing as the 3-day fix from the 21-day fix. And I showed them my results of the 3 days, day 1, day 3, and said, this is what I'm giving away for free. When you join my group, I'm going to coach you specifically through these 3 days. So it allowed me to share success. It allowed me to share my picture and also use it as an incentive. Close with confidence, and here's the graphic that goes with that. There are lots of ways that you can close with confidence, but it's so important not to turn into the desperate, needy, begging person, because that's not who we are. We know that we've got something of great value, and we need to be really confident in that. Number 11, personal development. If you're not doing your personal development, you're not going to be regularly hitting Success Club. No way to get around that. And number 12 is a get me out of this group. Get me out of this group, which we've done before. Those are fun. I don't know that that's the thing to do every single month in and month out, but those are fun, and I won't give away too much because we might want to do that again here soon. Let me see. Okay, so that's all I've got for that. But what it comes down to that I saw in a couple of people, one was people were expecting to hit Success Club, and I saw people that hadn't even been posting every day at all, like not even one post a day. And you can't expect people to follow you if you're not adding value to them on a regular basis. So that's kind of red flag number 1. Is you have to add value to them several times a day in and day out. Number 2, of course, your personal development has to be key. And not only should it be just something that's beneficial, like makes you feel good, but it needs to be something that helps you in your area, in your specific craft. So if you need to learn more about social media, then learn more about social media. If you're a brand new entrepreneur and you've never done this kind of thing, maybe read The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. If you are not so good with your time management, maybe read Eat That Frog by Brian Traci. So make sure that your personal development is geared towards something that's going to benefit you. And then the last thing was sharing you. And I think that also, it goes into the Coach Basics different calls that I want to put out there. And I've been able to get my hands on content that is going to help us run a 21-day posting group that's going to teach our coaches and new coaches, seasoned coaches, everybody and their brother, what to be posting, ideas for posting, how to post, and that kind of thing. So I'm super excited to go through that and then roll that out. That is coming. And but in the meantime, the more that you can share you, and if any of these things you're like, she acts like I should know what she's talking about, and I just really don't, I would encourage you to go back through the Coach Basics document. Let me double check and make sure that it is in our team page under the documents. Let's see here. Well, I'll go ahead and let you guys off the line and make sure that all of the Coach Basics posts are in one document all together, also on the team page, so that you can have those all together, because that's going to clear up a lot of things for you if something has not resonated with you tonight. Questions? Unmute and ask a question. Or announce your new puppy adoption or your kitty cat. And if nobody speaks up, we can talk about my other dead fish if we have to. Now's your chance.
Did the shark die?
He did. He did. Yeah, we had to scoop him
Fish
out.
die, that happened.
I asked Bryce if he would prefer a ceremonial burial in the yard, or if he would rather float him out to sea via the toilet. And he's a boy, so of course he wanted to watch the fish go down the toilet. So.
Of course, yeah.
So now we've got one little fishy in there left, and we're just letting the water settle for a bit before we try something else.
Fish are hard.
Anybody else?